Hey guys, David Frizzell back talking about the boots on the ground business. This is video three of my three-part series. First video, I really talked about, just the boots in the ground business overall and how it's really a good stepping stone to get into wholesaling or real estate investing and doing all that. My second video was talking about actually how you go out and do an inspection and taking photos and doing video and filling out a property condition report and how to do that. And it's a really easy process. But if you miss videos 1 and 2, I would suggest you go back and watch those. All right. And so this video, I want to talk about marketing for your boots on the ground business and how you would do that, right? How you would market, find customers to pay you to go out and take photos, take video, and do property condition reports of an investment property. Now, somebody asked me yesterday, sent me a message on YouTube and said, "Hey, do I have to be licensed to do this inspection?" And you don't, because this isn't a home inspection. All right. You're just going out to a property for somebody and being their eyes and ears. You're not, certifying, a furnace, or you're not certifying electrical work or whatever. You're just taking a picture of it or saying, on a checklist, furnace is missing. Okay. You're not inspecting it to certify that it's good or bad or anything. You're just saying, hey, it's there, it's not there, it looks like you need to replace this, it looks like it's missing, whatever. So you don't need to be a home inspector for this. Okay. So how do we market the service, right? Where would out of state or overseas investor be that we could find them and say, hey, you know what, we do this, we have this business? So I want to go through a few ideas for you. And the first is, let me share my screen with you here real quick. The first is going to be Facebook. Okay. And Facebook, you're going to go on in the groups. And I pulled up a couple here, and we're going to pretend like we're doing this for Detroit. But you want to go into the groups and not find national groups. All right. You want to find local groups for whatever city you're in, for Detroit or for Chicago or for Dallas or for Los Angeles or wherever you're located at. And you want to join all those groups. Okay. Now, if you're going to post in there for a business, I think you should reach out to the moderator and say, hey, I have a boots on the ground business. I would like to post in the group. Is that okay? All right. And say that. And you can also watch the group for people looking for somebody that wants on the boots on the ground business. So as you can see in this group, there's 6,000 members in this investor group in Detroit. And here's another one that's got another 7,000 members. Okay. So there's a lot of people. If you join all the Detroit groups or all the Chicago groups, you're going to be in front of a lot of people. Right. So you can get in here, watch for people that are maybe out of state, out of the country buying, and then you can reach out to them directly and say, hey, are you looking for somebody, kind of on the ground that can go out and take pictures for you, or meet a buyer, or meet a, or go drop off something to a seller or whatever. But you can get in all these groups and do that. Another good idea would be just to start your own group, whatever area you're in. And you don't have to be like an active wholesaler to do this, but start a Detroit real estate investor, wholesaler investor Facebook group, right? And get people to sign up. And then this top banner here, you can make an ad for your boots on the ground business, right? And just get investors in there, get wholesalers in there, and everybody that's out of state or out of the country, you can kind of connect with them. Even when they join your group, that can be one of the questions you ask. Are you a wholesaler or an investor from out of the state of Michigan or out of the state of Texas or whatever? And then that, is a good indicator that might be somebody you can work with, right? So starting a Facebook group or being in all of the Facebook groups are so important because you're going to connect with other wholesalers. You're going to be a JV partner. You're going to inspect properties for out of state, overseas investors, and all that stuff. All right, so be all over Facebook, all over your local groups. Okay. The second thing I've got here, or the third thing, is Craigslist. Now, a lot of people think Craigslist is, oh, nobody uses Craigslist anymore, but people still do. Wholesalers are on there, investors are on there. So, two places I would post in Craigslist. And I brought this one up because I saw this and it was actually somebody who looks like doing the same thing, virtual inspection, Zoom calls, pictures, that they're doing this. Anyone want to see a property here, investing, having work done on your property, want to check out the status. This person is doing a boots on the ground business, right? So that's awesome. But you can go into into the Detroit or, whatever area you're in and post in, let's go back to the homepage here. You can post in two places. You can post in under services, under real estate, and post in here. And this is where you can really do like an ad, like boots on the ground home inspections, photos, pictures, whatever. Make up a good photo maybe on Canva or something that you can use as your images, like these people have done for their painting company or whatever, and just say, hey, this is what I do. I do photos, I do video, do property inspection or condition reports. I do lockbox service. I'll meet buyers for you or whatever. Would list your services out, right? And run an ad like that. The other place is try, and you might get, your ad taken down for doing this, but in the for sale under the houses, because you've got investors on Craigslist looking for houses, you've got wholesalers posting houses on here. So I would find a picture of a house to post, right? And when you post the ad, I would fill out the ad, like, put a price. This one's actually for a rental, so let's not look at that one. Let's look for something for sale, for rent. I'm in the wrong category here. Let's hop back out and do for sale. That would make more sense, right? So you could put here, and you could put like investment property, right? And not put for sale, but just put investment property. Now, when you fill out the ad, go ahead and put, maybe don't put the address. I think you can leave the address off there, but you can put like 3-bedroom, 1-bath, single family investment home, and put some photos in there of like investment house with like some damage or different things. And down here, you can just put like, are you an investor buying properties in the Detroit area from out of state, out of country? Do you need an inspection service, whatever? I wouldn't put an ad picture here, like with your text on it. I would just use house pictures, but your ad, I would make say that, right? This is what I do, and try it. Again, you might get booted off, that ad booted off for doing that, but I would give it a whirl. Okay. So you've got that. All right. So, thirdly, let's go to Google and just search for your city, right? Whatever, Detroit, St. Louis, whatever, residential property management companies. Okay. And just make a list of these, right? And in contact, I know this one in particular, I used to do some stuff for those guys. And then, some I knew up over on the north side of Detroit or whatever, but just go on and do a search for property management companies, not commercial, but residential, and make a list of them and go by everyone. Make up some flyers on your service or mail them and do a letter and say, hey, I do this for the service for investors that are out of state or overseas. So if you've got somebody that you're working with that wants a physical inspection done, if you don't have the manpower to send somebody out and take pictures or photos or video or whatever, hire me to do it or refer me to them and all that. And honestly, I got a lot of work from property management companies. I had companies that would hire me for their own stuff to go out and look at properties because they didn't have the time to do it. And then I had them that would refer me to other clients. So, network, right? Go out and meet the person that runs the company. Usually property management companies, they're only 6 employees or 4 employees or whatever, but go out and just say, hey, I'm a boots on the ground inspector. I don't do full home inspections, but I do photos and videos and that kind of stuff. Who would I talk to about my services, as the manager around or what, or the owner, and just talk to them and just tell them what you're doing, right? And drum up some business that way. All right, next we're going to hop over here to Google Ads. Now this was a more um, advanced technique that I use, but I started doing this once I started doing some inspections and getting some money coming in. I would run ads on Google, but I wouldn't run them for Detroit. I ran them for people out of the state or out of the country looking for things in Detroit. So you can see I'm in the Google ad planner here now, and this isn't a Google ads course, so I'm not going to get into that. I'm just suggesting it. Okay. But I'm in their ad preview. So this is how if you have a Google ads account, you can see if your ads are running, but I'm showing you that you can go into Google and create a Google ad that will come up only for somebody in a certain region or geographical region. So when I would run ads in Australia, I would run them in the UK, I would run them in Canada, I would run them places far away. So when somebody would get in there and search Detroit real estate investment properties, Detroit real estate or Detroit residential property management companies or whatever, you can see the results coming up here from Austria. Oh, this is Austria, but you can change this. Let's go to Australia. I'm sorry there, Australia. Okay, so you can see what's coming up. From if I were in Australia, Googling Detroit real estate investment, you can see what comes up here, right? So there's no real ads on here, right? It's just SEO, people coming up for this. So you can run an ad up here, right? That will pop up above this listing that will say, you could say something like, investing in Detroit, ? Need eyes and ears on the ground. Here's my website, and put a link to your website. Problem, this was Detroit property management companies, you could say like having problems with your property management company. Do you need eyes and ears on the ground to go look at the property independently, whatever? Here's a link to my website. You could do it for Detroit tenant evictions, having problems with your tenants, whatever. Do you need somebody on the ground? So whatever you can think of to run an ad for, right? So it was a great way to get people to find me, to find my business and all that. All right. And now lastly, just good old fashioned, tracking down cash buyers. So this is a product that I sell, Cash Buyers Data Feed. And I went in here and I did a search for investors buying in the city of Detroit. And I did people buying multiple transactions, because I don't want just, somebody that paid cash once for a house that they moved into. So I want people buying multiple properties. I wanted people that were buying in the name of an LLC, not a private buyer, because most investors are going to be buying in the name of a company, not themselves. Okay. And then everything else I left, if they've got a phone number or not, whatever, all that. You can change the purchase price or the assessed value, but I don't care in this scenario. I don't care about equity. I don't care about anything else. I just care that they're buying in Detroit and they're buying multiple properties. So in this system, it'll show you a yellow star or gold star here if it's 2 to 4 transactions, and then a green star if it's 5 or more transactions. And I believe this is like in a 6-month period that they bought. All right. So, and you can sort this by name, by mailing address, by zip code, by where, whatever, which doesn't really matter. What I would do though, I would scroll down here and look at their mailing address because this is going to be not the property address, but the tax billing address. And I'm looking for people that are companies that have bought multiple properties that are out of state. So let's go down to here, one of these green ones here. Okay, this is in Michigan. This one's in Michigan, right? Michigan, Michigan. So I don't really care about those because they can go buy their properties, right? Here's one in Miami that we could look at if we click on this. They bought 3 properties in Detroit, right? So they're buying actively. GSR properties that's in Detroit. I want to find a green one that's outside of Detroit here. Let's scroll down here, see if we can find one. Of course, they're all going to be, okay, here's a green one. They're in Miami. They're buying properties in Detroit, right? So these are all in Detroit. They bought 6 of them. Sometimes you pull this up and there'll be, 30 of them or something like that. But you can see that they're buying multiple properties, right? So what I would do, one, you could see if you can, look up this business, right? You can see if you can pull up this Invest DTW, right? You can just Google this. I'm not going to do that right now. I started to do it, but I'm not going to do it. You could do that, right? But just Google the name, see if you can find it, see if you can find a phone number for them, or just send them a postcard or a letter to this, Collins Ave, Miami Beach, Florida, addressed to Invest ETW LLC, and just say, hey, listen, through public records, I see you're buying a lot of properties in Detroit, and this is my service. I do photos, I do videos, I do property condition reports. If you're looking for somebody on the ground in the Detroit area, here's my website, here's my phone number, give me a call. Be a great way to find business, right? So that is all the things that I did, right? I didn't do, back when I was doing it, I didn't do the Facebook stuff really. I did Craigslist. Craigslist was more popular back then. I did a lot of networking with property management companies. I ran the ads, and I would send letters to investors buying in the area. So those are some real solid ideas if you start a boots on the ground business. If you would just do those 5 things, you don't even have to do the Google ads. I would save that for when you're doing business and it's up and going. But just start reaching out to investors that are buying here through Facebook groups, through letters or whatever, and just say, hey, here's my business. And, if you say you need somebody to go do this, I'm available. And, figure out your pricing, charge them $100, charge them, for a video, charge them $150 if they want video and photos. If you're just doing one or the other, I think $100, 100 a quarter or whatever is good. If you're doing a lot more than that, and filling out the condition report, doing photos and videos, I would do 150, 175 for all of it. But you just have to see what your market will bear, right? And what you can negotiate. So that's it. We've talked about the business, we've talked about how to do the inspection, and this is really how you market it. So hopefully this helps you. It helps you, get into real estate investing and wholesaling while you're making some money, and it doesn't cost you a lot of outlay to get going. I'm giving that website away for $27, right? If you have $27 one time, you get the website. You can host it on System.io for free. All you have to do is buy your domain through like Namecheap, and just pick a domain, Boots on the Ground Detroit or whatever you want to name it, and set that up. And then maybe, send in some letters or printing some business cards, and then you're rolling. You can do all the video and photos from your smartphone. You can load them up to a Google Drive to deliver them and just send the customer the link. You can put them on YouTube and mark them as, unlisted if it's just a video that you're sending. But I think, Google Drive is a better option because you can put video in there, you can put photos in there, you can put the property condition report in there and just send them the whole file on a link. So, but so you know how to do the inspection, and now you know how to market it. So if you have any questions, comment below or reach out to me, and I'll help you get it going. Okay. So that's it. And I'll talk to you guys soon.